Hi, my name's Teresa Miller and I'm a Principal Technologist with the Technology Advocacy Group at Cohesity. Today we're going to take a look at how to leverage the cloud for your dev test needs. So let me explain a little bit further. Basically, with Cohesity, as long as you are backing up the system with Cohesity, and you have a registered source, in this case we're going to leverage the Azure cloud, you can bring your system online up in the cloud to do any type of testing you want. That means you don't have to take on the additional cost and overhead of maintaining this type of infrastructure on-prem. You can bring that system online in the cloud, test your Windows updates, or do development against an application. And when you're done, you can either tear it down or you can bring it back to your on-prem. So let's take a closer look at how this works. What you would need to get started is basically a data protection job. So I'm going to go ahead and go to some protection jobs that I have in place. And essentially the piece that we will care about here is the backup component. So if I edit the job, and in vSphere I have a system, and more specifically it's this WinAV Apple 1, again just straight backup. And the piece that we care about here is the policy and the backup policy. So every day, retaining for 4 days in my case, you can set whatever policy you need. And then note that your protection jobs can have any additional settings you need, such as end dates of the job, indexing, SLAs, and more. Go ahead and click cancel. So as long as your job has been completed, I can go over to test dev here on the left, and I can initiate a clone of this machine. And in my case, I'm going to go ahead and do that to Azure because I have Azure as a registered source. So I'm going to go ahead and clone the VM. And I'm going to go ahead and actually choose the individual VM. I'm going to go back. It looks like this backup's from March 24th. I'm going to go ahead and click continue. And in terms of where I'm going to go ahead and clone this to, so first of all, I have my object selected and it is cloned as this particular item. I could actually pull this out of archive as well. I'm just showing you I do have the ability to leverage it off of local, so that's what we're going to use for this. And our clone location, so the actual source of that clone location is going to go ahead and be Azure. And when I do that, it then allows me to choose my resource group, my compute, my storage account, and my storage container. I have the option to use Azure Managed Disks, and I do have the ability to rename my clone, which I'm going to go ahead and do. And for our purposes today, this is going to be a test machine. And I'm going to go ahead and choose my virtual network. And I'm going to go ahead and choose my subnet. And I'm going to have the cloned machine be powered off just for more control until I'm ready to actually work with it. So this particular step will, again, depending on the size of the machine, I would expect this to take several minutes in my case. And so we're going to go ahead and pause, and I will bring this back when it's complete, and we'll take a look at that machine in Azure. Okay, so jumping ahead here, what we have is the completed test machine has been brought online into Azure. The job here says it's successfully completed, and if we go into Azure, what we'll be able to see is there should be a machine that is shut down. Yep, the TM Win App AV01 test is shut down and not brought online until I'm ready to start working with it. So You're able to leverage cloud infrastructure without all of the cost and time that goes into putting something like this in place in your on-prem infrastructure. So huge benefit to leverage the test dev component that we have available within Cohesity.